No castle is impenetrable. Time runs out as everything fought for becomes a memory, forgotten. Once great champions are proven to be mere puppets, attached to strings, stuck in webs, and bound to their demise. Trouble looms as towers crumble to bricks. Dynasties turn to dust. To survive, they lie low. No one is free. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ScratchRunning Podcast, the official podcast of competitive browser gaming. As always, I'm your host, Keiron, and with me on the mic is Lord.
It's me! What was that, you may ask?
From the darkness, a hero approaches.
And it's none other than the ScratchRunning Podcast. Hello, everybody. We flipped the script on you a little here.
Get flipped.
Get flipped. That was an excerpt from the notes and credits from The King is Dead.
The King is Dead by Funner.
Funner.
Is it Fun UT, Fun Ut, or FU Nut? Nobody knows, but this game is, it took me like 10 minutes to beat, which is more than your average Scratch game.
Maybe. It's more than your average platformer, with the occasional lava.
On scratch.mit.edu, instead of lava, you have, sword fights.
Oh!
It's a 2D platformer. The castle is just a big maze with platforming keys at the end of rooms.
Is it good?
It's pretty good. It's probably the guy's best game.
Oh. I mean, I just gotta say, there was one comment I saw where somebody said, lol, you can... Oh, wait, what was it? You can bounce on...
You can bounce on the woman in the beginning of the game. You can actually do this.
Yeah.
The woman is voice acted by...
What?
Yeah, Funner commissioned someone to do the voice at the start of the game.
Incredible.
Honestly, The King is Dead seems like a game I might want to speedrun. There's an any percent and 100% maybe.
That sounds good.
Yeah, like my first playthrough was a bit confusing, trying to navigate the castle and then learn the boss fight.
Sure,
as
usual.
After that, this game's easy.
I could compare that to Chirpy, right? Where the boss fights are a thing you kind of have to get used to, and then they seem pretty simple.
On your first time doing the boss fights, they are actually kind of hard, but if you do the fast strats, they're over in 5 seconds.
Yeah. And also, for this game, even though I have not played it, I think it's pretty good that a game has some sort of learning curve. And
Yeah. You can learn how to fight the guys, or you can jump over them, or you can jump on them for keys.
Speaking about, also...
Pretty good game.
Before I say anything else, I don't think we have ever jumped this quickly
into talking about actual Scratch game.
Yep.
We're actually talking about a Scratch game on the podcast.
I hope everybody is doing great. This time it's again only Keiron and moi. So
yep, I still have various diseases. I'm coughing less, but I'm still not at my peak.
Got it. I mean, don't worry. You people out there will not hear a single... Okay, you may hear a single cough, but I'm going to try to edit out most of the stuff
Thank you.
If any coughs are longer. That's fine. Speaking about platformer games with a bit of a twist. Did you know, everybody out there, Keiron already knows, that The Chaotic has released a new game. We all know him. We all love him.
Everyone loves The Chaotic. He's the Arena guy. Everybody loves Arena.
Arena even got a new thumbnail and background and stuff. But
Nick is just finding out about 3.0.
Whoops.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
The game I'm talking about specifically here, though, is Fire and Ice, and it's it's your usual platformer where you run from the left to the right screen, or you get some sort of thing.
In this case, from the left to the object, but in this case, you have
exactly.
You have a little guy. I played the first 4 levels right before recording, and it's actually kind of sick. Switching between the elements, also double jumps, which is nice.
Yes.
And you first bounce off an element that isn't yours, because, if you're ice, you land on fire, you don't immediately die, you bounce off it. And then if you land on fire again, you die.
Yep.
So you could use that for speedruns.
Absolutely. I think...
And then the double jump on switching elements. that's going to be a good speed game.
I think, I have not played all of it.
The ILs are going to be 2 seconds each, but
I have not played all of it, but I can imagine that this mechanic of when you hit when you're in ice form and you hit the fire and it gives you that one hop before
hop
that will be used
different.
In some way,
probably probably saves time over switching elements.
Yep, and maybe even mechanically will have to be done in some way.
Mm,
so I don't know. Give the game a whirl if you like.
I love platformers that go past just running, jumping, because the game mechanics, you could make a mod of this game.
Yep.
Probably be cooler than a mod of, say, what's a bad game?
Well, I could name a few, but still, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
There's
That's why everyone goes for 3D World instead of SMB1 when they make Mario Maker levels. Because it's just more mechanical.
True. Although there are a lot of people that go with the first, with the Super Mario.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean the one where it's the really old one? It's just Super Mario Bros. No.
Yeah, SMB. I'm talking about Mario Maker 2.
Yeah.
But now I mention it, there are more ROM hacks of SMW, SM64, the, I'm just going to say better Mario games, than there are of 1 and 3.
I agree. And I think...
Shout out to Cosmic, who does actually play a lot of SMB1 ROM hacks, but
yeah.
World, 64, even Odyssey are on a different level.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Have you played much of the anniversary thing they did for the Switch, where you had 3 games in one?
I don't own 3D All-Stars.
Ah, yes. And it's not even sold anymore, right?
They
don't sell it anymore.
You are now legally allowed to pirate it. You are now morally allowed to pirate it.
I still want to play Sunshine again. Sunshine was a great game that I enjoyed a lot.
I believe you. It's the one of the Mario games I haven't played.
And it's strange in a way.
Yeah.
And frustrating at times, but I think the uniqueness has something going for it.
Yeah.
Is 64 so different? And yes, I think so.
It's because it was the first 3D game ever.
Yeah, that was and it's just by itself unique.
They're only getting into it. By Odyssey, they knew to just make everything easier.
I wonder, because I've never played Odyssey, by the way.
Oh, you haven't?
Is that a thing where, or is it also in Odyssey, the thing where they have a part at the start of the game that is pretty easy, that you can play through pretty quickly as a experienced gamer, and then after that you have the expert levels or something like that? Because I remember that from Super Mario Odyssey, 3D World, where it was exactly that.
The post game of 3D World you're talking about.
Yeah.
Odyssey has the moon rocks in each kingdom that unlock new challenge levels.
Ah, yes.
And then, spoilers, if you haven't played the 6-year-old game yet, somehow, when you get 500 moons, you unlock the Champion's Road, the Persister's Path of Odyssey.
Hold on a second. Odyssey is 6 years old?
5. It came out in, September.
Holy smokes.
September 5th. No, September 17.
Time flies, man.
Right?
And even more time flies by without us...
Time flies so by.
Without us having Clabs on the podcast.
Clabs. Again. The mysterious disappearance.
But this time, we have a little message.
We have a little message from the soda segment operator.
Yes.
It reads as follows. A statement on Sierra Mist by Clabs.
Hi, Clabs.
I'm afraid I cannot make it to today's recording, but I must speak on the tragedy that has struck our people. If you have not heard, Sierra Mist has discontinued its production. I know this must be troubling news to the many lemon lime soda fans amongst our fanbase.
True.
This ambrosia, this nectar, it brought joy, life, love, riches, maybe even cured diseases.
True.
And the future will be dark without it. You may also be taught to believe Starry, the replacement soda, is the same thing. It is not. The cane sugar is replaced with high fructose corn syrup. If they suddenly return Sierra Mist after poor sales, do not be deceived. They may pretend the original is back, but it is merely a twisted figure in the clothes of our savior. The cane sugar will be lost. Such was the tale of New Coke, a fable of dark soda past. Stay strong, soda fans. Clabs.
Thank you, Clabs, for that.
For those
I cannot believe.
Yeah, right? They took Sierra Mist from us.
I haven't even ever tasted Sierra Mist because I can't buy it here.
You can't have a thing in
Detroit. But I believe Sierra Mist was loved by many.
Sierra Mist was loved by the population. Starry will not be.
Probably not.
Probably not. But for those of you who don't know about New Coke, they replaced Coca-Cola, which was pretty good, with New Coke, which is pretty not. And then they replaced New Coke with Coke. And then they replaced that with Coca-Cola, but it wasn't the same. In the USA, they still use high fructose corn syrup, which is a lot cheaper to put in a soda. If you're in the USA and you have a high surplus of corn.
There we go.
Yeah.
This could happen.
Watch the Amp Lemon video on it. It's great. But yeah.
I don't know. Like I've recently I've said this. I've recently tried Canada Dry, which is I believe something is. There was one time where we were talking about sodas that might replace our sponsor.
Oh yeah, because it was.
And I believe
Sprite.
Ark mentioned Canada Flat. Is there also Canada Flat? Or
is that real, or was he talking
about Canada
Dry?
In any case, I tried it.
If you Google Canada Flat, you get apartments and houses for sale in Canada. Because a flat is the British English word for an apartment, I think. I'm not sure.
It's true. It's true. So he was probably talking about Canada Dry.
He was talking about Canada Dry.
Shout out to Ark, Phantom Forces X at this point.
Shout out to Ark for working on things.
But Canada Dry, to me, to round off this soda segment, kind of just tastes like you took like half Mountain Dew and half just water out of the tap and you mix them together.
Half regular Dew and half water?
Yes.
That sounds awful.
It's like, I don't know, it's just like Mountain Dew Light.
It's Mountain Dew Light. That sounds awful.
It does. It tasted. Yeah, it tasted fine, but not.
It tasted mid.
Mid is the exact word I was looking for.
Yeah, that's my Reg Dew experience. I remember one time at Subway, I got a regular Mountain Dew. I think it was sugar-free, because I don't know if we have regular Mountain Dew.
That is interesting.
Because, Britain, we're scared of calories. We're deathly afraid of sugar. It was mid. Throughout the entire experience, I just wished I was drinking Sprite.
Ah, yes. I'm sorry.
My first Baja Blast was a much more pleasant experience.
I can imagine that, like, through the amounts of sugar we take in through, sodas and whatnot.
I doubt it matters.
Yeah. Who knows?
Mm.
Either way, will Sierra Mist be forever lost? And if anybody still has a Sierra Mist can or two, hold them close.
You might want to leave it in the fridge.
You might want to leave it in the fridge. Did you know, Keiron, this podcast might be the first one with the new emote.
Oh yeah, because Stickbird, Mr. Pepperoni, won the animation contest.
It's true, and we have talked about it a lot.
We've been in talks with him about the emotes.
Yes, and we've talked about the contest a lot too. So if you want to check that out, we've had the results posted for a while now. And
Clabs actually brought up Starry, and I said at the end of that episode, why would they replace a lemon lime soda with a lemon lime soda? And then they came back with the truth that it's it's New Coke again.
So true. I hope it's not, but like, who knows what'll happen. Either way, are you ready, as I am, to just hop into some SRCast Q&A box stuff? I know I haven't given you the chance to segue.
That would be so... Actually, you know what? That's a pretty good segue.
Because I was thinking, if it's just Keiron and I, we're not really getting into much banter here, of course, like we usually do on the podcast. This is the perfect time to just answer some questions by people who are eager to see what we think about these various topics.
Yeah.
And
pretty good topics, not gonna lie.
Maybe we'll have some discussions come out of it. Maybe not. You'll never know.
You never know.
Unless you watch or listen.
You never know if you don't go.
You'll never shine if you don't glow.
We really should do another playthrough of something.
For sure.
For sure.
I've been, for example, okay, this we can talk about this before we, since you brought it up randomly. I've been starting to play the game called Brutal. On Scratch.
Now,
which is like half on Scratch, half on Turbo Warp. It's like, it's made to be played on Turbo Warp.
It's widescreen.
It's widescreen. But, I've been enjoying that a lot, like for the one video I made, which you can watch now if you like, or later on our YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe to ScratchRunning.
Maybe you even are on our YouTube already and listening to this there. But I've been enjoying that a lot, and I might even play more of it. I think the video turned out well.
Yeah.
I even had some cereal during that.
Nice!
So that was great. Brutal, a game which is like, I think if anybody has ever seen or played Katana Zero, reminds me a lot of that. It's just like a hack and slash-ish platformer.
Yeah.
Roguelike, too.
Not too sure about if the maps are procedurally generated. I think they might be set.
I think so, too.
Yeah, but the upgrades, maybe enemy spawns.
Yeah. They're like, the whole game is set up pretty well, so that it's fun to restart, and the mechanics, like, you basically run through levels, slash through enemies pretty quickly. There's a timer that keeps you from going slow.
Yep.
And various, like, mechanics in the game that give you more rewards if you play more risky, which I think is always a great, balance.
Yeah, always.
And I don't know, it was a lot of fun. Check it out. We're gonna have the link in the notes and credits, and also check out the video if you like.
Yeah,
it's gonna be pretty pog. Maybe playing more of that.
True.
Until then, though.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if you could have any YouTuber stream themselves playing any Scratch game, who would it be, and what would the game be?
That's a wonderful question. Do you have one in mind?
I have two games in mind, either Chirpy Reverie or Asherhead Smasher 2.
Ah, yes.
But I can't think of what streamer.
What game would Northern Lion play the most if he ever played
Actually,
a Scratch game?
There is a streamer that does have a fairly respectable viewing that I regularly watch. Barbarous King. He plays a lot of different games, but very occasionally Mario World hacks.
Okay.
I think if anyone, he would enjoy AHS 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Because
I can see that.
Yeah, Asher 2, it's a SNES style game.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's got the difficulty of those Mario World hacks.
Do you think, what's the guy called who, like, does the Guitar Hero videos where he plays, like, the quality of SoundCloud?
Oh, yeah, Asai.
Yeah, Asai.
Asai is
ACAI.
Yeah.
Right? I'd love to see him play, like, I don't know, something like ZXNM or something.
Yeah. ZXNM is, like, more of a traditional rhythm game.
That's true.
I feel like it's something he's played before, but, like, maybe there was that other YouTuber, Tokaku, that made, like, a video on, I played these rhythm games in Scratch, they all suck, and it was Osumania clones.
Yes.
You ever heard of Koopy's Taiko clone?
Oh yes.
Or
I was
Rhythm
also
Square?
thinking about that. The Taiko Drum Master.
Yeah.
Taiko no Tatsujin.
Shout out to Rhythm Square, which I actually forgot to mention on a previous episode. You play it with the number pad. And it's a 3x3 grid of beats that you have to beat.
Wow.
It's fun.
I can imagine.
Pretty good game.
But yeah, if Northern Lion, like one of the few Let's Players or streamers and whatnot that I still have on my sub box.
I think our answers are Northern Lion play Monster World.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Barb play HS2, or some platformer speedrunner play Reverie.
There we go. Thank you, Revilo 45 for that question.
Good question.
Yeah. What's a good project that got stopped working on that you wished would be continued? Lego Lover 67 asked this, by the way. Monster World? Just kidding.
True. Goomblegurt 2.
Super Fighter Tournament?
Kidding! They're still working on it. Super Fighter Tournament still isn't out of beta.
Nope. Will it ever be? You will never find out, maybe.
You'll never find out.
What's another game that got stopped working on? I remember Raimu
what game is
8.
like straight up on Wario's Pizza.
It
was
and
Pizza
also
Tower before Pizza Tower.
Scratch the Painful is also one that he made.
Oh yeah, that one never happened.
Yep.
Did Wario? I think like Scratch the Painful like super. One of them super didn't happen, and the other one only kind of didn't happen.
I think Scratch the Painful kind of happened, and the rest not really.
Yeah. For a second I thought that Scratch the Painful super didn't happen, and Wario's Pizza kind of didn't happen. But like, wasn't that supposed to be a Wario Land type game?
I think Raimu had bigger plans with that. He wanted it to make you think that it was that, and then go like a completely different direction at some point.
So I don't know where Raimu is right now, except for showing us online on ScratchRunning. But I hope that one day he picks up Pizza Tower.
Oh yes,
which is Wario Land 5.
Yep.
Or, alternatively, he comes back to Scratch and picks up AHS2 and...
True.
And meets up with us again. Smile.
Doesn't that sound great? I can't think of any other games right now. I guess like we could always say some Yes Quite games, but I've been a little bit out of the bubble, like in terms of big games that got announced.
Yeah, games don't really get announced. I specifically had to mute the bubble, so like I don't know what's going on Scratch.
There we go.
Except some people have snuck into my community and started talking about Chirpy Reverie, which I do appreciate. Thank you all for keeping me informed on the strats.
Yep.
Are you ready for Keiron's Chirpy Reverie segment numbers 20?
20. Yes, I'm excited. What do we have this time? What's happening in the world of Chirp?
What's happening in the Reverie scene? Tool assisted speedruns are happening.
Oh. Which was always pretty easy to do in
it was always pretty
Chirpy,
easy
right?
to do. It's not the easiest game to test, but at least the input editor is there.
Yeah. Like it's right in the blocks. You can just like put some custom blocks together, right?
I made the custom block.
Oh, Keiron made them.
I made the custom block, but the
Never
variables to set the inputs were always there.
Okay, I see. That's good to know.
Yeah. At least it's not hard-coded when key pressed in the code. Yes. I'm so glad that's managed by variables, because I don't have to manage it by variables myself. So, rare update to W. Thank you.
There we go. And also, Chirpy Reverie, the
the
net
lost levels. Oh yeah, Net Reverie. Net Reverie is real.
Net Reverie is real. And,
it's real.
More stuff is happening there. We've had a video on it on YouTube too.
Yeah,
where
keep your eyes peeled. Subscribe to ScratchRunning again. Just today, like before recording, I finished off my task of 2EX.
Oh,
and got 18 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then ConsumePie found a clip and brought the test time down to 16.
Is there anything, like any struggles with making the tasks of, like, for certain levels that kind of...
There's no save states. Right now, as a task community, it's impossible to save state a Scratch game.
Yeah.
We specifically don't have frame advance, and not all of us are good at the game. I don't know.
Hold on, you could do the thing, though, if I'm correct. Like, you know how Turbo Warp has the pause button?
Oh, yeah, you could put a breakpoint block.
And yes, exactly. Like, have a breakpoint thing where it, like, exactly advances by 1 frame.
Yeah, you could do that.
See, there we go. We just solved
There we go.
We just fixed tasks.
All the problems have been
frame
solved.
Advancing.
But yeah. The real TAS only thing that we found is under-level ceilings.
Okay, yeah. So to explain this, so you know how sometimes you can, in Chirpy Reverie specifically, but also you've maybe seen in other games, where you can clip through like certain walls or something. This is not that, but Keiron has found a faster way of beating some levels where he goes underneath the level. It's like there's a very small like area like you can
1 or 2 pixels.
Sneak in. But if you do it right and you do like a jump at that point, then you can like just jump underneath the level, and as long as you beat the right or touch the right side of the screen, you're in.
Yeah. So that's ULS. If you dash right under that ceiling or like under the level and you clear the level, right?
Totally.
Yeah. ULC is under level ceiling diagonal dash jumps.
What?
So you clip the corner of the death barrier and the wall. You dash up and into the wall, and you hit a ceiling diagonal dash jump, which means
dang.
Previously on the ScratchRunning Podcast, I commented, "Do you know how to ceiling DDJ?" And most of you gave me the inputs for a regular DDJ, so I'm going to explain this now.
Yes, please. So school those people.
So what you have to do for a CDDJ is dash into a ceiling, and the frame you hit the ceiling, press Z, the jump button, Z, to jump, and you get your dash back. It's a DDJ on the ceiling.
It's a 100% discount on your dash.
You get your dash back. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
As long as you hit the frame. You can do this on any ceiling. You can also do this on any under-level ceiling.
Here's an idea.
You can clip all the way under the level. You can chain the CDDJs as long as you want to get out of the ceiling with your dash intact and move on with the level as if you hadn't even done it.
And if you pay now with your credit card...
you pay now, call 1-800-555-CHIRP
to get your 100% discount on another dash. That's right,
get another
dash.
I should really make a ROM hack with levels based around having 2 dashes. That'd be so fun.
If anybody, here's an idea. If anybody ever decides to make a ScratchRunning animated thing, or like, ScratchRunning animated animation, please make Keiron talking about CDDJs, like a
CDDJ
commercial where he's like, what are those commercials called? Where they like try to sell you? I mean, every commercial tries to sell you something.
Yeah, it's an infomercial. I know the kind of style that I accidentally went for by like whiteboard, like Charlie Day whiteboard.
Yeah,
with the CDDJ.
Yes. And like, I was thinking more about like flex tape and stuff like that, where they say
Phil
like,
Swift. That's an infomercial.
The kitchen gun.
Bang, bang, bang! Don't look that up, Scratch viewers.
No, please don't. Either way, that was the monthly.
That's my monthly Chirpy
Reverie.
Reverie rant. Go jump under the ceiling.
At home. Do not try this at home.
Yeah. Jump up, and get down.
You know what's a good question that I totally do not have an answer yet to, but I probably can think of one. Bird, aka BRD6147, asked, what's your favorite childhood food that you just haven't really gotten around to eating again? Do you have one immediately? Because I just thought of one.
No.
Okay. There were these candies that I can't even get again because they're gone. They discontinued them. Actually, now I'm thinking about two things. But either way, they're Smarties, right? But they did a collab with Haribo, the the
I was gonna say Smarties. We have those.
Yeah, I mean we all have Smarties, but they collabed with Haribo, like gummy bears.
Yeah.
And put the gummy bear like juice or the gummy bear substance. This just sounds wrong.
The juice
in the shell.
Smartie shell.
Yes, and it was amazing.
Was there also chocolate, or was it just gummy Smarties?
It was a little bit of chocolate, like the outer layer, a little bit of chocolate.
That sounds awesome.
And it was awesome. It was absolutely great. And they discontinued them. I can't see why. Maybe people were like put off by them, but they tasted great. And that's something I haven't eaten in a while that I really love to return.
Let's bring that back. It's like, you're older than me, and I don't remember that.
I mean, maybe it was also a thing they just did in like...
Maybe it was just EU.
Yeah. Isn't like Haribo also from Germany? I'm unsure.
I'm not sure, but we have Haribo here.
Yeah, I mean the whole world.
Yeah,
has them.
I haven't eaten them in a while because braces, but one day.
Fair. To be fair, there's like and I don't know if this is a German brand or not, but there's like some vegan gummy bear brands out there, and those hit different. I don't know what it is about, like, it's like, do you know the Smurf Haribo things? Like the Smurf
those
gummy
with
bears?
The blue.
They are even worse for your teeth because they stick everywhere, and for your braces especially. But vegan gummy bears for some reason have that like do you call it a consistency of like
Haribo Smurfs, but
not sticky, not as sticky at least.
Yeah.
And they taste great. That's all I can say. If you ever see some in German the brand's called Cartiers, but I don't know if they also have that.
I think
outside of
vegan sweets are covered by a different brand over here.
Who knows? Either way, that's my not necessarily favorite childhood food that I haven't really gotten around, but one of my faves back then.
Yeah, I still can't think of anything.
I mean, that's fine. Do you want to jump to another question here? You still got some. Another question from Funny Animator Jim TV.
Funny Animator. Put that in quotes.
Would you stay up till midnight for the launch of a Scratch game, or like 4 a.m.? And I understand
4 a.m.
why they made that like correction.
4 a.m. is absolutely insane. If you are releasing a Scratch game at 4 a.m., you need to leave Scratch.
Or your time zone.
You need to leave the internet. So, like, if you're American and you release something, if you're NA East and you release something at midnight, that's 4 a.m. here. I'm missing that release. I'm playing a game the next day.
True.
If you're NA West and you release something at midnight, that's 8 a.m. here. Again, I'm waking up and I'm seeing that game. But if you're American and you're releasing a game at 4 a.m.,
why?
I hope you I hope you know that all of your friends are asleep and nobody cares.
You're gonna have a lot of people realizing your game's out on the next day.
You need to leave Scratch. You need to leave the internet. You need to find directions to the nearest Round 1 arcade. Because they have an exclusivity deal with Konami that only they get to buy the rhythm games.
Incredible. I wonder if there's any game I would stay up this late for. Maybe Gumblegurd too. Maybe. But it also depends whether it's a whether it's like a weekend or not. Because I'm not
Nothing. No one's never stay up till anything on a weekday.
Yep. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Everybody knows that.
Nothing good happens after 11 p.m. To be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of true. It's just I'm just repeating what the people say, and to me personally, it's also 11 p.m. I agree.
Yeah.
It would have to be something insane.
Yeah.
Like...
I mean, I once woke up early to watch the Deep Cut concert live on YouTube. So.
Ooh. The Deep Cut concert. What is that? It
was an event at Nintendo Live where they played a few songs live. It was kind of hype.
I can see that.
You can go back and watch the video, but waking up at 6 a.m. to realize that I'd actually woke up at the wrong time and I was actually watching a Switch Sports tournament. That was part of the experience, to be honest.
Part of the experience, I see.
But no, I will not stay up until 4 a.m. That is absolutely insane.
Thank you, Funny Animator Jim TV, for that question.
Thank you, Funny Animator Jim.
if that is your name.
Real name.
Oh, great. Okay, so last question, if you don't mind. Skyry Dynamite, spelled Dynimite.
Dynamite.
I'm gonna only ask one of these questions because for the first one I know the answer. Or you know what, we can just then say, do you do any coding other than Scratch? If so, how would you compare your experiences with the different languages, like more graphics focused ones like HTML? I don't know if HTML is really graphics focused. It's more like
HTML isn't a programming
language. It's not a programming language, but still, I think I know what they mean. So
you still have to write it.
Yeah,
like Python, you can't just do text with it. It's like you can do a lot of things with Python.
Yep. As a bonus, what are your opinions about things becoming more web-based? Do you like running apps offline, or do you prefer using online programs? Now, here's the thing. I think more apps being online has made them so much more accessible to people, and just like being able to see something on a website and them having the try it out now button.
Yeah, you can just have something open in a tab instead of opening a whole other app.
Like having to download the thing, install the thing, everything. I think that's what's keeping a lot of people from just giving it a quick try and seeing if they like it.
I think
Scratch, for example, is really good at this.
I think it makes sense for Steam because Steam actually manages all those games, and it's like
totally
in your computer.
Yep. But if I think about stuff like Scratch, the only point at which I started to like offline Turbo Warp more, for example, for me, was when I think it started when I didn't have access to internet for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And I then realized like how much smoother it ran, and like there were some funny little bugs I could use to like make the screen smaller than I wanted it to, or the smaller than Scratch would let me, for example. But now I think other than it like running smoother for big games, and especially in the coding department when there's like lots of blocks on the screen, I think having stuff online is brilliant.
Yeah, I love doing things on websites.
Yep. I think especially like coding, it's just great convenience.
Websites becoming mobile apps isn't fun. If your website does something specific, that's just a website.
It's just a good website, maybe.
You don't need that to be an app.
I've recently seen the thing where I was on a website and they had like a button on their website that looked like it was gonna give me a download for an app that did what this website did. It's like a Wikipedia, basically. But then it just like the thing that it did when I clicked that button is it gave me on my phone screen, like on the home screen.
Yeah, that's just a link back to the website.
A link to the website, but inside of the app.
Offline.
So strange. I don't know. It does make sense, and it's probably a fast way to just get people to view your website more often. But
no, it probably just goes straight to the browser.
Sometimes it even does, yes. So there's that.
Not even to be used offline.
So that was the SRCast Q&A super episode. I definitely enjoyed, and I encourage more people always to ask us more questions, just to in times like these where it's just Kieran and me, or even if we just want to answer some cool questions.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Yeah. Is there anything else on your mind, or do you think it's time to end the episode, Kieran?
Have you ever thought of switching from recording at a McDonald's to a Burger King or any other restaurant?
No. I'm Absolord. This is Kieran, and
brush your teeth, dude. Yeah, the recording's now stopped.